Hey everyone, it's Candace. A lot of people are really struggling right now, not just like physically, but emotionally and kind of mentally. So I wanted to give 5 tips of ways to kind of protect your mental health right now, because that's important too. Because I see it in myself too. I'm snapping a little bit quicker than normal because I think everyone's just on edge, and I think with some of these tips that I can give you, it might help calm everyone down just a little bit. So tip number 1, cut back on what you're seeing on social media, cut back on the news, and be really intentional with what you're choosing to take in, because fear, it feeds off of negativity, and the more negative thoughts and beliefs that kind of come into play, the more stressed and anxious people are going to start to feel. So just really watch how much of the news and the things on social media that you're consuming. One thing that I told my dad a while back, when everyone was like going crazy with politics and everything, was anyone who's talking about things that you don't want to hear about, or things that are kind of triggering you or making you more anxious, you don't have to unfriend those people. You can mute them, or stop following them so that you're not constantly seeing the updates, and start seeking out things that make you happier. So I told my dad, like, I purposely look for animal videos because that makes me happy. Now I also look for baby things because that makes me happy. So really be intentional and choose the things that are going to make you feel better and not as stressed. If you're constantly seeing people posting things that are triggering you, unfollow or mute them, just for now, so that you stop seeing all the updates and stop seeing all the things that you don't really want to see. Our brains are kind of built to solve problems, and the more of the crazy stuff that we throw into it, the more we're going to seek out solutions, and it's going to lead to a cycle of worry even more. So just limit what you're watching. Maybe get just the updates 5-10 minutes a day of what's going on, and you don't need to know everything that's going on. You kind of need to know what's going around in your community or what's going to directly affect you. But if you don't have anyone in certain areas, or you don't have anything that has to do with anything in your life somewhere else, maybe don't pay attention to that right now. I know it sounds a little insensitive, but you have to protect your own mental peace. Otherwise, you're going to go crazy. We don't need to worry about things that are outside of our control. We don't need to worry about things that aren't directly affecting our circle of what we're dealing with. We really need to just work on intentionally choosing what we're paying attention to right now. That's my number 1 tip. And stick to sources that are reliable. Someone's Aunt Sally, she may not be the best choice of listening to what she has to say. So, my next tip number 2, create some kind of structure or routine for yourself right now. I'm still working, so my structure, it hasn't changed much, but other people may be at home, working from home, and this is completely new. I'm going to do a whole other video on that, but I'm just going to touch on a few things for this video. So humans, we're a creature of habit, and anything that's outside of our normal routine kind of starts to give us a little bit of extra stress. And you get we need predictability. We like that. Even as babies, babies thrive off of knowing what's coming next, knowing to expect this when this happens. We haven't changed much from when we were a baby. We like predictability, we like reliability, we like things in structure. As much as we like to be spontaneous, for our brains, we like to know this, then this, then this, So get yourself on some kind of routine at home. My plan for you also would be don't let your time just be free time to do whatever you want. Because oftentimes when you plan, like when you say, I'm just going to figure it out, a lot of times things that you might have wanted to do end up not happening at all because you didn't have any kind of structure. So the best thing you could do is, make a scheduled plan for your day. Put in time that's like free time to do the things that you want to do, or like do some fun things that can help you relax. Schedule time to like work on maybe one major task a day. Don't try to take on 100 tasks, because then you'll probably accomplish nothing, to be honest. But if we can have some kind of structure in our day, and that creates, like we can expect what's coming next. And that really helps, bring down your anxiety, bring down your stress, because you know what your day is going to look like. Tip number 3, stay connected with people. We're in a world where people are watching right now. We're in a world where I can send you a message in a second. We can do a video chat. We can do all sorts of things. Between Facebook Messenger, Instagram, Snapchat, hopping on Zoom calls, this house party app that we've been playing around with. There's things where you can stay connected, because humans need community. So don't isolate yourself. And a lot of times we don't like reaching out to others. We expect them to reach out to us. So maybe be the one who takes the first step to reach out to someone else. Because I'm sure after you have the conversation, after you both talked, probably both of you are going to feel better. But oftentimes we hesitate to reach out to someone because we put these things in our head like, oh my gosh, we're going to say something to them and they're going to be like, oh, why are you talking to me? Or like, we make up these stories. Reach out to people. They want to hear from you. They want to know what's going on. We want to keep things positive. Don't isolate yourself. Be the one to reach out to someone else first, because I'm sure they're going to appreciate it. Tip number 4, keep yourself busy. Idle time is going to leave your brain to like worry. Fill your time with things that are going to distract you, but are also going to bring some satisfaction to you. So if you give yourself like some little tasks to complete that you know you're going to complete, actually we release hormones in our brain that make us happier when we do that. As simple as, making your bed. When you make your bed, you have hormones that get released in your brain that say like, woohoo, we did something really good. And that'll make you a little bit happier. That's one simple little task you can do. But we want to put things into our day to keep us busy and to keep us in a good mood. Some people are taking this time to do free courses or look at, virtual museums and all sorts of stuff just to keep your brain busy. Because when your brain is not busy, we start to think about other things and you can spiral from there. But if you keep your mind stimulated on something and not just loose and letting it do whatever it wants, you're gonna have a little bit more control of the anxiety and some of the fear and some of the stresses. Let's see. What else I want to say? Oh, exercise, yeah. Throw some exercise into your day. Exercise is a great way of boosting your mood. There's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of things you can do from home. When the weather's nice, you can get outside. But, there's a lot of exercise you can do, and exercise has been strongly proven over and over and over again to help boost your mood. So when things start to get stressful, do something active. It's going to make you a little bit happier. Also, make some time to do like self-care things. Like, for instance, you could journal. You could look up prompts online. Write about different things. Just like let your brain be thinking about other things. You could, color, read a book, play with your pets, listen to music, take a bath, meditate. All of these are really calming activities that can help, lower your heart rate, bring the stress level down, restore your feelings of like just calm. These are like things where your brain doesn't have to start spiraling out of control. You can just be focused on one little thing and feel comfortable with it. And then tip number 5 is prioritize your nutrition. stress will make people crave things, and oftentimes those are foods that are high in sugar and high in fat. And besides the obvious, weight gain from these types of foods, they also cause this little temporary high, and you'll feel kind of good while you're eating them, but then you quickly crash. And that instant gratification that you got from eating something sweet or something high fat, that's not a healthy fat, can lead to even more stress, even more irritability, even more anxiety and feelings. And it's like a vicious circle. You eat a whole bunch of high carbs, saturated fats, you feel happy for a minute, and then that fades, and then you feel bad. So then you seek out more. And that circle just keeps going and going and going, and you're not accomplishing anything, and you're not de-stressing yourself. You're just falling into this vicious circle. And also, besides just the release of chemicals and hormones in your body from just the foods themselves, you'll also probably start to feel some guilt and shame from eating those things and beat yourself up for why did I eat these? It's not good for me. And then a cycle of I don't care, so I'm going to eat more, and then go, why did I eat this again? And that cycle is just going to keep going. And that's just extra stress that you don't need to worry about right now. Keep your nutrition, solid. Eat healthy foods. Eat foods that, it's actually proven that high protein foods with magnesium also has some calming and anti-anxiety type effects. And then also focus on your hydration, because even being a little bit dehydrated can make your nervous system feel more anxious. So good nutrition, more hydration, that's really going to help. But we really need to work on protecting our peace right now and not letting all this outside crap get into your brain 24/7. Be intentional with doing some things that are going to de-stress you, make you feel happier. Reach out to people. They want to hear from you. I know all of us introverts are like, ooh, I'm scared to reach out to people because what if they think I'm being annoying, or what if they don't like me, or I don't know, these stupid things that we come up with. No, people are going to be happy, so just reach out. But I'm going to recap these 5 tips real quick for anyone who might have just jumped on. Be intentional with what you choose to take in. Limit what you're looking at on the news. Limit, what you're seeing on your social media feeds. If you're seeing things that are causing you stress and anxiety, mute them. Don't look at them. They're just going to make you more stressed. Number 2, have a routine. Don't just go out about your day aimlessly thinking, because that lets your brain run wild and feel more anxious. 3, stay connected with your family and friends. There's lots of ways to do it. They want to hear from you. I'm sure everyone's going to be happier once they talk. 4, keep yourself busy. There's lots of things that you can do. If you have no idea what to do, Google what can I do when I'm bored. There's tons of things you can do. Anything you might have been putting on the back burner, do it now. Don't sit there idle, because idle time lets your mind run wild. And then 5, keep your nutrition solid. Don't fall into the trap of eating comfort foods to feel better, because that's just going to turn into shame and feeling bad and more anxiety and more irritation, and then makes you seek out those foods again, and then you just keep going in this circle. It doesn't solve any problems. So I hope some of these tips might help you. If there's something you're struggling with, let me know. Maybe that I can talk about it. Share this with a friend who might need some help. But thanks for tuning in. And keep yourself busy. Get your mind off of all this stress and tune some things out that aren't unnecessary for you to be paying attention to. Thanks.